Hey guys, today on People Now, Demi Lovato's mother speaking out for the first time about her daughter's overdose and how she's doing today.
We have the details Tyra Banks gave away about Lindsay Lohan and the upcoming sequel, Life Size 2.
You could do more in the fantasy suites than just have sex.
Bachelor Colton Underwood spills what he's looking forward to the most in this season's fantasy suites.
Burt Reynolds fans, listen up. The late actor's iconic car collection is going up for auction. We have the details.
I'm on the road looking for truckers with inspiring stories and remarkable chow.
Celebrity chef Andrew Zimmern brings us the most delicious food truck bites from New York City.
It's all today on People Now.
Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to People Now. Good to see you. Hello.
Hello.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I always am very happy on Thursdays.
Yeah, it is. We're almost there. Yeah, and all you James Bond fans, you're happy as well, probably. You may have heard about this, the news. James Bond 25 has chosen its director. It is Cary Fukunaga. Now, the True Detective director here is moving into this. It's very exciting stuff.
Yes, and in honor of the announcement, we are asking you, which actor has been your favorite James Bond? Is it Daniel Craig? Are you a big Pierce Brosnan fan? Maybe Roger Moore? What about Sean Connery? So many great options.
Right here.
So vote in our People poll or just tweet us your response with the hashtag PeopleNow.
My heart lives right here. We'll talk about it more later, and Cary Fukunaga's work as well, and James Bond 25. We're going to check in with your responses as well. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Savannah Guthrie is opening up about life at the Today Show after Matt Lauer's departure. In this week's People, the anchor reveals she hasn't seen Lauer since he left the morning show last fall after sexual harassment allegations were made against him. Guthrie tells People, quote, "I always try to keep in touch on text. He's really focused on his kids and his family." The anchor adds that it's been an adjustment with Lauer out of the picture, saying everybody knows how sad and sorry and shocked I was about everything that happened, and I hope everyone knows how grateful I am to have Hoda Kotb as a partner now. In the sit-down, the 46-year-old co-anchor also talks about her friendship with the Today Show's Jenna Bush Hager. Guthrie reveals that almost 10 years ago, when she was a White House reporter, she was assigned to cover Hager's wedding, telling People, quote, "Isn't it beautiful and delightful, the turns that life takes? Here I was, just a reporter, trying to find out about anything about the wedding. 10 years later, she's one of my closest friends." Such a cool story there. And for the entire Savannah interview, you can pick up People on newsstands Friday. Now on to this. Demi Lovato's mother, Diana De La Garza, is opening up for the first time about the overdose that left the singer fighting for her life in July. In an interview with Newsmax TV, De La Garza recalls the moment she found out what had happened to her daughter. She says she received a phone call from Lovato's then assistant who told her that Lovato had overdosed. Her reaction, she explains, was shock, saying, quote, "I didn't know what to say. It was just something that I never, ever expected to hear as a parent." She goes on to add, "I remember it just seemed like the words took forever to come out of my mouth. I said, 'Is she okay?'" De La Garza was so shaken by the news that she had to rely on her eldest daughter to drive her to the hospital, where she rushed to Lovato's side and told her she loved her. She remembers Lovato was in, quote, "bad shape" when she arrived, but nevertheless replied to her mom saying, "I love you too." De La Garza says from that point on, she decided to think positive, never allowing herself to think that things wouldn't be okay. Over the next few days, while her daughter was in critical condition, De La Garza says she relied on her faith and that she believes the swift work from medical professionals and millions of prayers that went up that day are what carried Lovato through. Now, as for Lovato's current state, her mom tells the outlet, quote, "She's doing really well. She's happy. She's healthy. She's working on her sobriety, and she's getting the help she needs." Lovato remained in the hospital for more than a week before she was released on August 4th to an inpatient treatment facility. Now watch this. Singing it, guys. Oh my goodness, feels good. Some big Life Size 2 updates, guys. Although Lindsay Lohan won't be the star of the upcoming sequel, Tyra Banks has revealed she'll likely make an appearance. Lindsay will. Banks teased Lohan's involvement at the America's Got Talent finale on Wednesday night, telling E! News, quote, "You're going to have to see Life Size to see what Lindsay does. It's an interesting, creative way that my producers have Lindsay involved." The two starred together in the 2000 comedy, which premiered on ABC and was released on DVD and VHS shortly after. Lohan played a young girl whose doll transforms into a full-size human played by Banks, which could also be very frightening. The two eventually became friends and even help each other navigate the world. In the 18 years since Life Size was released, Banks says she's kept in touch with Lohan, explaining, "I talked on the phone with Lindsay a couple months ago. I'm proud of her." Life Size 2 is expected to premiere during Freeform's 25 Days of Christmas this December.
So what's going on, James? They say you're finished.
What do you think?
I think you're just getting started.
You heard him, guys. James Bond isn't going anywhere anytime soon. In fact, we're learning more today about the 25th installment of the 007 franchise, including who will be trusted to direct the whole thing. That honor goes to American Cary Fukunaga in a move that marks the first time a non-British director has helmed a Bond film in the franchise's entire 65-year history. Bond producers Eon said in a tweet that Fukunaga was the right man for the job because of his, quote, versatility and innovation. Fukunaga is best known for directing the first season of HBO's True Detective and the 2015 Netflix feature Beasts of No Nation. He also directed Netflix's new limited series Maniac, starring Emma Stone and Jonah Hill, which will drop on the streaming service this Friday, September 21st. Now, the news ends weeks of speculation over who would take the lead on the next Bond flick after Danny Boyle stepped down in August over creative differences. Now, Boyle is known for his work directing movies like Slumdog Millionaire, Steve Jobs, and Trainspotting, so it was all a big deal there. And then also announced on Thursday that production for the new James Bond has been pushed back to March of 2019, lining the movie up for a worldwide release date of Valentine's Day 2020. Sounds like a romantic date night to me. If history is any indication, it'll be a blockbuster weekend for sure. Skyfall earned a franchise high of $1.1 billion. That was back in 2012, while 2015's Spectre earned $880 million. Daniel Craig will be back as the legendary spy, reportedly for the last time. So I can't wait for that.
Very, very exciting.
I'm pumped. And you got more for us in Star Trek.
Yes, we are kicking off Star Trek with some updates from our new Bachelor. Bachelor fans are probably very excited about this. That is right, Colton Underwood is just days away from meeting his bachelorettes. Ellen caught up with him right before his big trip to the mansion, where she asked how he'll handle the fantasy suites. Of course, we all know Colton is a virgin, but he says there's more to do than just have sex.
I'm looking forward to the fantasy suites.
I bet.
Because you could do more. You could do more in the fantasy suites than just have sex. So, I mean, we could play board games, we could hang out. The little things, finding out the little things about them is some of the most interesting things, because you guys get to see, like, the big storylines on TV. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to just, like, what's your favorite snack? What kind of dog do you like? Like, just, like, the little everyday things that you guys really don't care about.
That's so precious. And as an extra special treat, Colton met 3 of the women vying for his affections. Ellen put them to the ultimate test in a game called No or Go. But not all the ladies had the chops to win the game and spend some time with our Bachelor.
In a few days, Colton will be handing out roses. Finish the rhyme. Roses are red, violets are blue. Colton is sweet, and...
So am I.
That didn't rhyme.
I tried. I tried.
That didn't rhyme, so she's going to have to go because it didn't rhyme. That's a sad thing. Yeah, it's great to know that you are sweet, but as you go down, think of something that would have rhymed. All right?
Sorry, Katie. Hopefully you'll have a chance to redeem yourself on the upcoming season. The Bachelor premieres January of 2019. And Colton wasn't the only one joining Ellen. Kate Hudson and Mama Goldie Hawn stopped by Ellen on Thursday, making their first shared talk show appearance ever. But that's not the only record they broke. Hudson revealed she's probably the most pregnant person to ever sit on Ellen's couch. And Goldie and Kate revealed their past hospital room traditions ahead of the upcoming grandchild.
First brought her a, magnolia. Because that was, it was...
huge.
It was big,
She wanted me to think of my vagina as a magnolia flower.
Exactly. That was it.
And I was like, I never want to think of my vagina that big, ever.
But it was going to open, and that's what the flower did.
The blossoming magnolia.
And then I got hungry. And she was, in the stirrups and everything. But I said, it was like, it was dilating. So I said, I'm really hungry. I'm just going to come back. I came out with pizza.
Doritos.
And Doritos.
Well, actually, the best part of that was when Mom called me when I was in labor and said, so I'm about to take a swim. And I was going to get a massage. How long do you think you're going to be laboring? And I was like, I don't know, Mom. I mean, and I'm like calling the nurse going, do you know how long I'm going to be laboring? My mom wants to swim.
Like, should we make it a 60-minute or 90-minute massage?
Oh my gosh, I love them so much. Goldie also revealed the meaning behind the unusual birthday post that she made last week for son Oliver Hudson. We're seeing it right here on Instagram. Here's what she said.
His head isn't even in it. It's just your breasts. I mean, we're not cutting it off. That's how she did it.
That is, And you know what's so funny? When I saw that, I actually had to press on it to make sure. I was confused.
Right.
But you see, I was jet lagged, and I just came in from Frankfurt, and I honestly took 4 melatonin. And
I had to tell her, I got on the phone, I said, whatever you do, do not delete this post.
I mean, was it an accident on purpose? Maybe we'll never know. Those are your Star Treks for today.
I could watch them talk all day and hear them laugh together. It's so great. Stay with us, guys. Longtime Dancing with the Stars host Tom Bergeron is taking us back to his favorite moment from the show. Plus, Andrew Zimmern is whipping up some delicious food truck eats. It's in honor of his latest series. Get your mouth wide. Look at Andrew loving that food. Coming up in just a bit.
Hey, if anyone wants to bring me food, I'm always down for that. All right, everyone, in honor of Cary Fukunaga signing on to direct James Bond 25, we've been asking about your favorite James Bond actor, so let's check in on our poll.
I'm excited for this.
He's in the lead. You
Let's
are.
see. Oh, this is close.
It's close. Daniel
Craig barely over Sean Connery. Sean Connery's like, he holds the mantle for a lot of
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan's right there, too.
Yeah, he's my guy.
Oh, poor Roger Moore. We gotta get some more votes for him.
Too long ago.
I know.
But Pierce Brosnan is always my guy. Anyway, all right, keep the voting going on our People poll. But now, back to this.
Meghan Markle hosted an outdoor reception at Kensington Palace on Thursday to celebrate her first official project as a royal, a very special cookbook called Together that she helped create.
She was joined by her supportive husband, Prince Harry, and her mom, Doria Ragland, who flew in from LA earlier in the week.
Meghan also gave her first public speech as a member of the royal family, and she didn't miss a beat. She spoke for almost 3 minutes with no notes, explaining what inspired the cookbook.
Working on this project for the past 9 months has been a tremendous labor of love. I had just recently moved to London, and I felt so immediately embraced by the women in the kitchen, your warmth and your kindness, and also to be able to be in the city and to see in this one small room how multicultural it was. On a personal level, I feel so proud to live in a city that can have so much diversity. It's 12 countries represented in this one group of women is pretty outstanding.
Meghan also wrote the foreword for the book, which features recipes from a group of women whose community was affected by the Grenfell Tower fire. More than 70 people died in that tragedy.
The proceeds from the cookbook will help the kitchen to stay open and enable it to widen its reach to others in the community and beyond.
I said in the foreword that this is more than a cookbook. And what I mean by that is the power of food is more than just the meal itself. It is the story behind it. And when you get to know the story of the recipe, you get to know the person behind it. And that's what we're talking about in terms of coming together to really engage and talk and to be able to celebrate what connects us rather than what divides us. That, I believe, is the ethos of Together.
Meghan concluded her speech by having everyone applaud the members of the kitchen before she and her guests dug into a delicious meal made from actual recipes in the cookbook. It included coconut chicken curry, vegetable samosas, and caramelized plum upside-down cake. Sounds delicious.
I love that she's doing this, and also it really resonates when she says it's more than a cookbook.
Yeah.
It's such an amazing cause, so good for her.
Also, just at face value, watching her and hearing her speak, I haven't really heard much from her since she became officially a royal. So it's really great to hear her speaking and doing her thing.
All right, calling all Burt Reynolds fans. The last cars personally owned by the late actor are going to go on auction Saturday, September 29th at the Mandalay Bay Resort in Las Vegas.
Family, friends, and other celebrities will be on the auction stage celebrating the lasting legacy of Burt Reynolds.
The cars being featured in the auction include 2 1978 Pontiac Firebird Trans Ams, which are recreations from his popular films Smokey and the Bandit and Hooper.
It'll also include a 1984 Firebird Trans Am that was a Tampa Bay Bandits promo car. Very cool.
And we can't forget about the 1987 Chevrolet R30 pickup that is a Cannonball Run recreation.
Look at that
I
truck.
know.
All the cars and truck, of course, are signed by Burt Reynolds during tours and special events.
And bidders can attend the auction in person, online, or by phone. For more information, head to www.barrett-jackson.com.
Burt Reynolds died on September 6th at the age of 82.
The icon had been battling health issues in the past years and was even in intensive care in 2013 for treatment of flu symptoms.
His memorial service was held on Wednesday with a private funeral scheduled Thursday for close family.
All right, moving on to this. Tom Bergeron has been hosting ABC's Dancing with the Stars for about 18 years.
Yeah, I don't think the show would be the same without him at all. And with all those years under his belt, I had to ask him what his all-time favorite moment is, and here's what he had to say.
Jerry Springer, who, they told me he was going to do the show, I thought, really? Jerry Springer from that show? turns out to be the biggest mensch. She's an absolute sweetheart. And he only wanted to do the show so he could learn to do a waltz at his daughter's wedding.
So he had his own motives.
He had his motives, but they were sweet. And he did the dance while she was sitting there in the audience. And that was, that was lovely. It was just a lovely, real moment.
After interviewing him, those two definitely could be friends.
Absolutely.
They were cut from the same cloth.
Like, they probably hang out,
All
right?
right, yeah, moving on to this.
We talk a lot about what we want for our kids, right? I mean, I know I think about it a lot. What I want for mine. And the one word I keep coming back to is okay. I want my kids to be okay.
This Is Us returns this Tuesday, and we can't wait to pick up where we left off, laughing and mostly crying along with the Pearsons.
From war flashbacks to new babies and much more, we're breaking down everything you can expect from This Is Us Season 3.
So we learned in Season 2 that Jack had a little brother, Nikki, and that Nikki died in Vietnam. Now we'll get to see that all play out.
Milo Ventimiglia, who plays Jack, says we'll see Jack in a war zone in Season 3. Milo promises that all of those scenes will relate to his brother, Nicky.
We're kind of going into some heavy territory for Jack right now.
Meanwhile, the show's creator, Dan Fogelman, teases this. He says people are going to be talking about Jack's brother an awful lot.
We'll also find out exactly why Kevin and Beth's cousin Zoe were on a plane together, headed to Vietnam. That's in the finale.
And next up, Kate and Toby.
Babe, I just spoke to the doctor. I want you to come in tomorrow and talk about adjusting your meds.
Oh, poor Toby there. Now, at the wedding, his parents referred to his depression after a prior divorce. Flash forward, and he's bedridden, which will affect the whole family.
Kate and Toby's journey is centered around their quest to start a family. Chris Sullivan, who plays Toby, promises that we should expect plenty of adjustments as they merge their lives after their wedding. Justin Hartley, who plays Kate's twin brother Kevin, says his character will be there to support Kate. Because as he says, it doesn't look like Toby is doing very well.
There's another big question we want answered this season. I have one word for you, her.
It's time to go see her, Tess.
I'm not ready.
Me neither.
Is it Beth, Deja, Annie? Who is
I don't
her?
know. Sterling K. Brown, who plays Randall, actually knows who it is, but he is not saying a word.
Sterling K. Brown told Entertainment Weekly that he knows who the her is, but he jokes that Dan Fogelman would cut off his big toe if he told us. But Sterling did give us a little reveal. He says it's probably not what we would expect. We'll all have to tune in to find out.
I don't want anyone to lose a toe over this. No. Sterling also promises that conversation will, quote, here it is, ultimately help to illuminate what the end of our story will be.
So translation, it's a pretty big deal, and it'll make a lot more sense very soon.
For more on the new season, pick up People's complete guide to This Is Us. It includes new interviews with the cast, exclusive photos, and a timeline of the show, which will make all those great flashbacks and flash forwards a lot easier to handle.
I'm Andrew Zimmer. As an entrepreneur and former food truck owner, I see food trucks as the fastest way for a passionate, talented, and diverse group of people to get into the food business. All right. But it's far from easy. That's where I come in. I'm on the road looking for truckers with inspiring stories and remarkable chow. That is spectacular.
Andrew Zimmern's latest series, Big Food Truck Tip, takes him around the country to find the best meals served up roadside. And lucky me, he brought some of the most delicious food truck bites from New York for me to try. He brought the best falafel I've ever had from King of Falafel, and these incredible Korean barbecue bowls and burritos from Karilla that were unlike anything I've ever had before. So after a quick bite, he revealed what about food trucks he finds so special.
I just think it's a marvelous, marvelous culture to celebrate. And you know I'm a culture geek and I like celebrating cultures. And I think people sometimes think that you have to travel a million miles away to tap in to something that's more culturally interesting. You can do it by just walking down the street to where food trucks have gathered and start talking to people from all walks of life, from different countries, and they're all celebrating food.
Yeah, now in your show, you give away a $10,000 tip, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But what does it take to earn that tip?
Well, the thing I love most about the show is that, you know, other food shows, you know, it's food, appearance, originality, there's this strict criteria. We have criteria too. It's called whatever I think.
It's a great criteria.
Well, I felt that I earned that.
Yeah.
And the idea is, yeah, the food's got to be great. But I also, if I'm giving $10,000 to you, I want to make sure that you can have the impact on your community, that you're the right kind of person, you've got the right story and the right background. So that's just as important to me as the food. So it's sort of like a nice metric, a mesh of those two factors.
I love him so much, and the food was really good.
Yeah, what was your favorite?
The falafel was amazing. Yeah, King of Falafel, check them out. All right, we're gonna take one last look at our People poll. So Cary Fukunaga is officially directing James Bond 25. We've been asking who your favorite James Bond actor is.
So the poll apparently getting a little closer here. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Sean Connery and Daniel Craig almost neck and neck. This is the
closest poll we've ever had, Jeremy.
Most exciting close poll ever. A few more votes could tip the whole thing, guys. Get in there. But my man Pierce Brosnan is falling back.
Very stressful today.
I'm gonna log in with different
We'll be
computers.
asking another question of the day tomorrow, so tune in, and I bet you will.
Also coming up tomorrow after I do all that voting, Tony Danza is here telling us all about his new Netflix series, The Good Cop. He co-stars with Josh Groban as a not-so-good cop. He's corrupt, on parole, a total rule breaker. Spoiler alert. He's also hilarious, guys. You don't want to miss that.
Yeah, thank you for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Tom Bergeron. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm the casually dressed Tom Bergeron, and this is One Last Thing. The last show I binge-watched was Killing Eve.
She will keep hurting people until I catch her.
The last time I was starstruck was when I just made a complete fool of myself in the first-class lounge at JFK with Annette Bening. I mean, everything that came out of my mouth was sludge. I was just like, and then my brain would tell my mouth, shut up. But it didn't. My last big splurge actually was for my daughter's birthday, furnishing her apartment.